every listing is a business. Once you get this concept into your mind and you start to treat every new listing you put into your store as its own complete business, you're going to move up and away from your competition. Because so many sellers on Etsy just add more listings, not really thinking about what they're doing with each one of those listings, not really looking at what everyone else is doing, and you end up with millions of products on the Etsy marketplace that are average. I deal with sellers every week that come to me, show me their stores, and I say to them, what makes this any different from the millions of other products that are out there? Absolutely nothing. So here's the first point I want to make about every listing is a business, okay? The first point is businesses don't clone themselves, okay? Businesses don't clone themselves, right? And when you're putting your listings into your store, you'll hear so many people on YouTube saying, take one design and then put it across multiple different products, maybe change the color, right? Businesses don't duplicate or clone themselves. And when you're listing in your store, every listing business needs to be unique. It needs to stand on its own with its own identity and its own meaning so that customers can find something valuable in that listing, not have that value spread across 4, 5, 6, 10 clone listings or clone businesses. Think of every business, every listing as its own entity. It's got to stand on its own and be represented by itself and not duplicated. So many sellers just clone stuff across different products. You're just weakening the original design or the original product. Don't do that. Every business stands on its own. Every listing should stand on its own merit. Number two, every business, right? There must be a USP. Okay? A USP is a unique selling point. Every time you make a listing, a mini business, you've got to sit in front of that listing and say, what is unique about this? What is the reason anybody would come to my store and purchase this over hundreds of thousands of competitors? If you don't have a unique selling point, you're not going to succeed because too many other people are already doing what you're doing if you don't have something unique to offer. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of sellers in your space already doing what you do. However, if you bring a unique selling point, there is something for customers to target. It might be a better product. It's simply better designed, higher quality. You might bring utility or a use case that other products don't bring. You might have a design that nobody else has done before. If the word unique sits on one aspect of your product and it makes sense for the customer to buy it, you have a USP and you will make sales, right? Someone said to me in a YouTube comment yesterday on my YouTube channel, they said, Nick, what if I've got a one-of-a-kind product, right? One of a kind, and I don't use ads. How am I ever going to sell it, right? But here's the fact. I've worked with single product stores multiple times. And the fact is this, if you listed one unique, one-of-a-kind product, unique selling point, no one's ever done it, right? And there is a demand on the platform, the product, the listing will start to sell immediately. It will start to sell within hours usually. And you will have a bestseller on your hands within days, definitely within 2 weeks. So let me be specific. If it is a unique product with demand, one of a kind, no one's done it, you'll just make sales. You don't need to advertise it. That's the power of unique selling points. But as we know, most products have been done before. It's very, very rare to find an idea or a product that's never been done on Etsy and it has decent demand. Decent demand, that's the key. Not sort of a sale or two a month, that's no good. If you're selling one product and it's unique, you want 20, 30, 50, 100 sales a month, right, to make this worthwhile. So USPs are so powerful. You've got to be better. As new and growing Etsy sellers, you've got to bring more to the table. You can't be like everyone else. And this is what happens. People just come to me with vanilla, average designs and products that have been done millions of times before. You're not going to succeed. You've got to be better and bring something extra to the table. Right, so next one. Your listing assets, photos, videos, description, price, and SEO must tell the listing story or the business story. Okay? You have to, across your photos, video, description, price, SEO, convince your customers that you are the best bet for their purchase in your listing, right? And that builds on the unique selling point. Now you are literally selling your product using these assets, right? You've got to tell the story. So, you know, I've lost count. Thousands of times I've looked at listings and you're not telling the story of the listing to convince the customer to purchase. All you're doing is creating questions and problems. I'll give you an example. If you're selling a necklace, it needs to be on a model, not on a table or going round inside a light box or just laying flat on a gift box or something. All you're doing is creating questions for customers. Oh, that looks nice, but what does it look like? How long's the chain? How does it sit on the neckline? Right? You've got to tell the story of your product. If you're selling bags, you've got to show the bag on a shoulder, get into the bag, take photos of the compartments, the zips, the back, the front, close-ups. Tell the story. Answer those subconscious questions customers are going to have before they have to ask them in their mind, because if customers are asking questions about your product, they're not buying. They're not buying. Tell the story. So many sellers don't do this. This is a golden opportunity to reinforce that every listing is a business. These are the components of the business. They really are, aren't they? Because when you extrapolate this to your store, you've just got hundreds, dozens, hundreds, thousands of listings all built on this structure, right? Tell the listing story, be unique, you will make sales. This is all about treating every listing like a business. Okay, next one. And this is obvious, right? But I see in the forums, people don't do this. You've got to research your competition listings, which are businesses. So you evaluate their weaknesses. Go through your competitors' listings, right? Go through the reviews. Look at what people are saying. You will see little golden nuggets of information. Oh, really nice, but I wish they did this. Oh, it would have been nice to have that. Or too small, it would be good if it was this, right? Research, dig in to your competition. Be brave, get in there, find out what they're doing well, what they're doing badly, what the customers want, what you can deliver that they don't. This then creates this. Researching your competition creates unique selling points and helps you support your listings as businesses. It's serious stuff, this is. You know, if you want to be better and make sales, people come to me every week, Nick, I'm not making sales. Once I start breaking this out, everyone, you know, people are saying, oh, okay, you know, oh yeah, maybe I've got a problem. Very hard to self-reflect and look and say, okay, well, what are my listing business problems here? Okay, which leads into the final point that I want to make in this video. No filler listings. Okay, these are weak listings. Don't put out listings just to grow the store. Don't say, okay, well, I've done one design, I'm going to duplicate it across a couple of listings to get to this 100 listings. No, take your time. Okay, it might take you longer to get to say 100 listings, which is a great general target for people to aim for. Don't put out filler listings that just grow the store. Because if each one is quality, you're going to make more sales. But if you put out 20-30% of your listings are just fillers, they're just clones and duplicates, you're just going to weaken all the work that you've done. So make sure every listing is unique, every listing is a business and adds value, brings something to the customers that they don't yet have in some shape or form. Let me know if this makes sense to you and if you like this content. I thought it was a very interesting way to frame listings. And I hope you got some value from it. And as always, if you want to work with me, my 7-day free trial for the Etsy Academy is on. The booking button's coming up on the screen, and there'll be a link in the description to try my private group learning academy to help your Etsy business succeed. I look forward to catching you there and in the comments. Cheers.